Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at one of my favorite special locations because guess what? We have a very special Mustang. This is a 2020 Shelby GT500. What makes this even more special is not just the Grabber Lime green color, but guess what? Ford has allowed us to have access to this press fleet vehicle, and I've driven it for the past week. And what I want to try to find out is, should or would I get rid of my Shelby GT350R and go with a GT500 after experiencing it on a day-by-day basis? But before we dive into this muscle car, this new supercharged muscle car, let's talk about what's going on here. So it goes all the way back to 1965. Not only was that the original birth of the Mustang, but also the connection between Carroll Shelby and Ford Motor Company with that Ford Mustang. The Shelby GT350 in 1965 really set racetracks ablaze and captured people's attention with the performance. Now in 1967 is when the Shelby GT500, that is the great grandfather of this very car. That's when that hit the streets. What's fascinating is that after 1970, there was a massive gap of time. From 1970 all the way until 2007, there wasn't any Shelby GT500. It came back in 2007, supercharged power, 6-speed manual transmission, and then in 2014, it disappeared again. But boy, oh boy, is it back, and back in a big way, because guess what? Underneath that massive hood with that supersized heat extractor is Ford's most powerful production engine ever. 760 horsepower. You have a Ford GT, guess what? This is more powerful than your very own 2020 Ford GT. But let's go ahead, let's dive in and see, really, would I get rid of my GT350R and go the GT500 route? Right off the bat, the styling, the color, it really just captures your attention. There was about 30 guys that came over just to look at this vehicle when we first started. Now, up front, you'll notice you still have the older style headlight design. And when I say older, I'm talking about 2015. Remember, in 2018, Ford did a slight refresh and changed the headlight design. I personally like the older style better, not only on the GT500, but also the GT350. Now, just like the GT350, this 500 is wider. It's over 2 inches wider up front. And you could really see that extra width at the front fascia here. Now, normally I would zonk this because it's gloss black, but this is not a carbon fiber track package edition. So the gloss black is all right. I just wish they would have made this a functional side air curtain, and that's where I'm gonna have to zonk it. But as we work our way down, a little bit more gloss black, but what I do love, especially when compared to my own Shelby GT350, is I love on the 500 how they use this beautiful wire mesh for all of the open air to get to the coolers. You'll notice that unique body style, how it extends out, and then this is gonna be your standard splitter that you get. Now, if you go with the carbon fiber track package, you're actually gonna get a wider splitter, and you're gonna get the side canards to help direct more airflow. But on this GT500 that we have, it's a little bit more street friendly, because with that splitter, you're gonna have to be extra careful of pulling out of parking lots and driveways and all that kind of stuff. Now, coming across the front, you just have this massive wide opening, more of the wire mesh. You could see all the intricate ducting that they have to channel air to all the right places, whether it's to coolers, whether it's for braking, cooling the brakes, or the massive radiator. And guess what? You see that Cobra right there that, you know what? If you get too close, it's gonna bite you in the neck and just sink a bunch of venom in you. This is the largest Cobra ever placed on any Shelby product from Ford. So that's just a little fun fact. You do have some gloss black. I like the way they stamped the GT500 name in there, the Shelby name on that front splitter. Remember, this is the standard splitter size, carbon fiber track pack. It's gonna stick out further, but really wide. And I'm telling you, parking it next to a Mustang GT, you'll see that extra width. Now, when we get up onto the hood, guess what? We have the return of hood pins, and I really love the way they did the hood pins. Instead of actually having a pin that's gonna dangle down when you take it out, you're just gonna push down and then open up the hood. We have the over-the-top vinyl racing stripes. You can get painted stripes. Now, these stripes are a $1,000 option for the vinyl. If you want painted, it's a $10,000 option. And if you want that carbon fiber track pack, that's an $18,000 option. Now, you have that massive heat extractor that's gonna bring the air in from the front, drag the hot air out, and those racing stripes are going all the way back. I love the rise to the hood, especially compared to the GT350. This obviously has a higher rise hood because of that massive supercharger underneath. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup on our standard GT500. You're gonna have these 20-inch wheels. So whether you go carbon fiber track pack or standard, you're getting 20-inch wheels. These obviously are aluminum. You go carbon fiber track pack, you're gonna get carbon fiber wheels, exposed carbon fiber. But I like the split spoke design. It's a 20-inch by 11. All four corners. You got beautiful 305s, those Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, gonna give you some grip, but it's also gonna give you a little bit more durability and wear compared to the Cup 2s. But 305s, all four corners, nice slim 30 series sidewall. You got those massive 6-piston Brembo calipers. They look like massive tomatoes that are just gonna squeeze down on 16.5-inch rotors. So the rotors on the GT500 are larger even than my own Shelby GT350R, about an inch larger in diameter. Of course, you have the Magnarite suspension, all four corners, really gonna help read the terrain to give you the proper amount of compression and rebound for those shock absorbers, all four corners. As we go into the fender, one thing the GT500 does not have is that side vent. And I kind of wish that it had some kind of side exit vent to bring out hot air, but you got a very tasteful Cobra badge. And then look at the aero work that they worked on the lower side sill. So this is your standard side sill, similar to a GT350, but they went a little bit further. And this is just the standard GT350. You get more aero, like I said, when you go carbon fiber track pack. As we come around, you got your black mirror caps, which I think work perfect with the Grabber Lime green and the black racing stripes. We have the optional side stripes. Now, here's a little fun fact. If you go side stripes, those are vinyl. If you go with the painted $10,000 stripes, you can't option that in. But that's $495 option for those beautiful side stripes. As we come towards the rear, everything else is gonna be standard Mustang affair with the shape of the body. Out back, just to show you, you have 4-piston Brembo calipers. You're gonna have another massive rotor. And then, like I said, 305s help give you the power, get that power to the ground, because if you're just spinning, guess what? You're not winning. We come around the back. Here is your GT500 standard rear wing. It's gloss black. If you go handling package, there's an additional gurney flap that they'll attach at the dealership, not at the factory, but at the dealership to give you even a little bit more downforce. But I love the clean look. The black racing stripes come all the way down. You got another massive Cobra there, your standard tri-bar taillights that are gonna flash in sequence, which is great to get that nice connection to the past. And then these massive exhaust outlets, 5-inch exhaust outlets. There's actually heat treatment in here so you don't melt the rear diffuser. And of course, you can make these louder or you can make them quieter. I say just make them loud and piss everybody off and let them know that you're in a supercharged, most powerful V8 engine that Ford has produced. And then as we come across the center section, the rear diffuser is actually different than the GT350 and GT350R. I like the way they went a little bit different, but lurking behind, just like on the GT350 and the R, is a diff cooler, and you are running 373 gears, just like the GT350. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see that supercharged V8. All right, guys, we got the hood pop. Now, one thing that's different from my own Shelby is that you actually get a hydraulic hood strut to hold up the hood instead of the prop rod, and I do like that. You'll notice on the underside, this metal pan, this is a rain guard. When you go to do your track day, you take the screws off and you drop the pan. That's gonna allow all that heat to exit out. It's still functional even with the pan in, but you're gonna get more flow. The reason why they do this is in case you have it parked outside and she does get wet from rain, it's not gonna dump water all over this beautiful engine. Check out this massive strut tower brace at the back. This is unique to the GT500. It looks like a part right off the Brooklyn Bridge. I love the Ford Performance badge, the way they put the Cobra badge on the top of the supercharger, and you could see that engine builder signed his name, hand-built GT500 right from good old Detroit, Michigan. And then when we talk about performance, what are we talking about with this car? Like I said, it's a 5.2 liter V8, supercharged V8. It's actually the same displacement as a Shelby GT350. The difference is this has a conventional drive shaft crankshaft instead of the special crankshaft in the Voodoo V8, and this engine is called the Predator. So in the Predator, 760 horsepower, 625 Pound-feet of torque. If you're an old muscle car guy or girl and you want to know cubic inches, this is a 315 cubic inch V8. It's mated to a 7-speed Tremec DCT transmission, and that's going to be a zonk. No manual transmission offered whatsoever. Ford claims 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, quarter mile in 10.7 at 132 miles an hour. It's got a regulated top speed of 180 miles an hour. The car weighs 4,000 pounds. MPGs, this is where it's going to hurt. 12 in the city, 18 on the highway. And the crazy news is, because of those MPGs, there's a pretty pricey gas guzzler tax. It's $2,600 gas guzzler tax because of those MPGs. If you compare that to the Shelby GT350, that's about a $1,300 gas guzzler tax. But why don't we go ahead, the heck with taxes, the heck with MPGs, let's fire up this Predator and hear its roar. All right, guys, we're inside this Grabber Lime Green Shelby GT500. If I was gonna do it, I would wanna go, I'm thinking Velocity Blue with white racing stripes. Ooh, that sounds oh so good. But this Grabber Lime Green is looking good as well with the black racing stripes. I know you're at that point. Well, Joe, I want some muscle in my life. I've been working out at the gym. I've been lifting weights, but I want some muscle in my garage. How much is this? The way that this is optioned, and you got to remember the gas guzzler tax, this does have the tech package, which is a $3,000 option. In total, MSRP for this particular one is $81,000. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, the door panels, nothing really exciting to write home about. It's a good looking door panel, your standard Mustang door panel. The difference is the white diagonal stripe and the black diagonal stripe really gives it a nice classy look. I wish they would have just brought a little bit more color. And the door pockets, very, very small. You're not even gonna be able to get a Chipotle burrito. Maybe a drumstick. If you're just walking around with a turkey leg, you'd probably be able to drop it in there. That's about it. Now, when you get to the dash, this is your standard finish. You can get optional carbon fiber, but this is the standard finish. I like the chassis plate number, the GT500 badge, that snake there. It's about to bite your passenger right in the head. And then you have, of course, you have some performance gauges. You got your oil pressure gauge, very important gauge, and oil temp. You can see that nice finish in the way that they do the round AC vents. We have the B&O sound system, over 10 speakers, including a sub in the trunk. Drop it down, there's your 8-inch infotainment system, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This is the sync system, very, very easy to use, and you could even get your climate controls. If you don't want to touch buttons, if you like screens only, you could touch the screens. If you have a phobia with screens, guess what? You work your way down, you have your buttons, no heated or ventilated seats, and I'll explain why. You keep working your way down, you got your toggle switches, your different modes, you can make the exhaust louder or quieter, traction control, a real aluminum, and I tested, I got my metal detector out, aluminum start-stop button. You got USB, a 12-volt, a little cubby for some race-winning Twinkies. Give them to the people that you beat as they're crying. Throw them a Twinkie. This is where I cry a little bit. This is that rotary dial for the 7-speed DCT transmission. Great transmission. I wish they would have done something just a little bit different here. Maybe some aluminum accent, maybe a little bit more color. It's just a little bit flat black and obviously plastic. But the good news is what's underneath here is worth its weight in gold. That 7-speed DCT from Tremec shifts so quick, you could be Mario Andretti and you're not gonna outshift this transmission. 2 cup holders, soft on the armrest. You can put more Twinkies in here or Snickers, 3 Musketeers, Kit Kats, Butterfingers, whatever you want. Put it in here and give it to the people that you beat at the track because they're going to be crying. And then here's another option. So this is around $1,200 for the Recarros seats. I love the Cobra there in the back, the Alcantara, 1-piece back, leather, really, really nicely done with the white. It kind of blends in with the door panels nice. It's all manual control, but you know what? They're super comfy. These do not squeeze you like a Ford Focus RS Recarros seats. So that's the good news. Plenty of headroom. You do have a back seat when you go standard GT500. If you go carbon fiber track pack, you lose the back seat. No, I'm not going back there. We've already sat in other Mustang back seats. It's tight. It's tighter than a Challenger. It's not as tight as a Camaro. That gives you a good idea. Coming over though, I want to show you behind this beautiful Alcantara and leather wrap steering wheel in this GT500. All right guys, here we are, business time. I love the way you got the Ford Performance badge that welcomes you. And remember, this is now a Ford Performance product. They used to be SVT, now it's Ford Performance. And when you buy your Shelby GT500 brand new, you get to go to the Ford Performance Racing School. Totally free, you just gotta fly yourself there. You do have a decent sized dead pedal. I wish it was a little bit larger and I wish it was aluminum, so I am gonna zonk that. But you do have an aluminum brake pedal and throttle. And then the seat controls, like I pointed out on the passenger side, they are manual, but they're easy to get to fit your body type. And I'm telling you, they're comfortable. The bolstering is amazing to keep you locked and loaded as you're going turn to turn. And definitely you wanna go to that racing school because you get to use one of their GT500s out on the drag strip and on Charlotte Motor Speedway. So these seats, you're gonna see the dividends that they pay lap after lap after lap. Steering wheel, I love it. You got your stripe, white stripe leather, top dead center, Alcantara, the white crisscross stitching all the way around, flat bottom with a little bit more leather down here. You got that Cobra for you to bite you in your own head. And then check it out, we have these massive paddles made out of magnesium, not plastic, not tin, not copper. Nice magnesium paddles that go up and down that 7-speed DCT. You can make all sorts of adjustments to the suspension, the steering feel, and then check out the dash. It's that beautiful 12-inch display. You can't get that on a GT350, but it's here on the GT500. And what I love is when you go into the different modes, look at how it changes. So we go into sport, boom. We go into track, watch the tack. Look at this. Boom. Really, really nice to have those features. And then of course, as you're going through the different modes, it's gonna adjust throttle sensitivity. You have launch control, you have line lock, so you could do that nice smoky burnout before you run her down the quarter mile. We're not gonna talk about the trunk because guess what? There's a trunk and it's large enough to put plenty of doors that you're gonna blow off of Camaros, Challengers, and Chargers. Just put their doors there. Help them pick them up off the street after you blow them off and put them in your trunk and take them home as trophy pieces. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this Shelby GT500 for a spin. All right, guys, we're in the Shelby GT500. We're gonna take them down some twisties and really see how the car handles, how balanced it is, and I'm gonna actually leave it in automatic mode for the whole start of this video. So here we go, on throttle, smoke them if you got them. Fast shifts. Godly. The way it downshifts, unbelievable. God, the power. Brakes feel good. Yeah. Woo! Golly. So let's talk about that for a second. First of all, the freaking chassis is so balanced in this thing. Getting 760 horsepower to the ground is gonna be a little difficult, especially our Shelby GT500 has about 9,000 miles on it, and it's lacking some meat off those rear tires. Somebody's done a burnout or two, and it has not been me. So just something that I'm just being a little gingerly about, knowing that I don't have the most grip that I possibly could out back. But I'm telling you right now, what I love about this transmission is that it knows exactly what you want it to do. That's crazy to me. The downshifts, you heard it. It was like I was blipping the throttle and allowing those downshifts to happen. Now, does the car have an 8,250 RPM redline? No. But it still has 7,500 RPM of glorious revs. You got that great 12-inch digital display. I love the high-rise hood. You just feel so connected. All right, guys, so I really want to showcase not only the automatic transmission, which you just saw, so confidence inspiring, I want to show the launch control. So we're at a dead stop. Just hold down the brake with your left foot and you're gonna get on throttle. Release, here we go, yeah! Struggling to get traction. Wow, I tell you right now, unbelievable this car. Wow, back on throttle. Here we go. Brakes feel great. Yeah. Wow. The way it accelerates is just so insane. And I'm going around these bicyclists. That's why I'm crossing the double yellow, going around the bicyclists there, trying to be extra careful and mindful. But so with the GT350 and the GT350R, it builds power progressively, and it doesn't start to really come on steam until obviously higher on the rev range. With this, it's like you have so much torque, so much power. Anytime you get on throttle, it's just an insane experience, and it puts you back into the seat unbelievably. And that automatic transmission, I knew it was gonna be good, but it's really good, really good. Now, when I did launch control, one thing you should be aware of is what the system does. It actually pedals the throttle. So if you notice, when I got off the brake, it seemed like we weren't going anywhere. That's because the system was trying to gain the traction, which we did not have, and that's why it kept feathering the throttle until once we were off and running. That system is specifically developed to do that. So just one thing I want to make you aware. I didn't want you to think, oh, it doesn't take off hard or anything like that. We're on a regular paved road here. This isn't track prepped or anything like that, like at a drag strip. But I just wanted to let you know. Now, I put the car into manual shift mode. We're going to use those beautiful magnesium paddles. Downshift in a second, on throttle. God! Oh my God. Wow. Super smooth. Look at this. Oh my God. Put you back in the seat, and what's crazy about this car is like it crosses over into different segments of the car enthusiast market. So if you want a drag strip car, this car will do it. If you want a road course car, this car will do it. If you want a muscle car, you get daily drive, this car will do it. It's that much more. Whereas with my Shelby GT350R, it's a road course car. It's not fast in the quarter mile. To daily drive it is a little extra difficult because it sits lower than this car. It's got that extra massive front splitter. But boy, I'm blown away by what this car is bringing. And this isn't the first time I've driven a Shelby GT500. You know that, I know that. And it won't be the last time I drive a Shelby GT500. But having it for 6 days really allowed me to see what it's all about. And it really is one hell of a machine. It's got so much technology, so much performance, it's unbelievable. It really, really is. That this is street legal performance. All right, guys, one more time for you. We're gonna go through the twisty bits. I'm not gonna use launch control. We're gonna try to do it the good old fashioned way from a dead stop, manual shifting on the paddles. Little bit of throttle. Here we go. Span them up, span them up. I'm pedaling the throttle. Nice. Fast downshifts, look at this. Yeah. Good turning, nice balance, on throttle. The sound. missing is a little supercharger whine. I would like a little supercharger whine, so that's the one zonk I have for the driving experience. But boy, oh boy, everything else, check, 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 check. That's how amazing this is. But we're gonna get back to our special location and wrap this up, so I will see you in a few moments. All right, guys, it's been one amazing day with this Grabber Lime Green Shelby GT500. Actually, it's been more than an amazing day. We've only spent this day together, but I've been able to spend 6 glorious days with her. Boy, oh boy, the power, the performance. I definitely got to thank Burge over at Ford Performance and everybody else over at Ford for allowing Rady's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle. I don't know, you know, I love my Shelby GT350R, especially with it being a Heritage Edition. Is this enough to persuade me to jump ship and go GT500? I'm not too sure. I think I'm gonna need a little bit more time behind the wheel of this car, especially the carbon fiber track package. Who knows, you know, maybe I could get extra lucky and have one of each. I think that really is a Ford Performance dream garage, for sure. But if you want to keep seeing muscle cars, and I know that you do on the channel, leave a comment in that comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera. Guess what? Lori took this down the drag strip and she ran 11-second quarter mile. Unbelievable. Her second time at the drag strip, she got it done, and she's getting it done out here with that camera. So thank you, Lori, for all your hard work. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.